Don't go to Japan.
It's don't go to Japan.
It feels like the worst heartbreak ever.
Your life becomes absolutely depressing.
Post-Japan depression will never disappear.
どうも八木沢です。今回取り上げるのはこのチャンネルでもおなじみの日本ロス。日本を満喫してしまった結果、帰国後に喪失感で打ちのめされてしまった外国人のリアルな声を見ていきましょう。まず紹介するのは典型的な日本ロスになってしまった男性。
I was in Japan for 3 weeks and those were the best 3 weeks of my life. Post-Japan depression is no joke. I literally just got back from Japan a few days ago and it feels like the worst heartbreak ever. It feels like one of those movies where like the main character goes to France and falls in love with somebody over there, but he can't stay there because he doesn't live there, so he has to go back. Yeah, that's exactly how it feels like. Today was like my first day back to reality because I had to work back to my regular routine. But I kid you not, last night before I slept, I was looking through all my videos and pictures of my daughter and my girl, and I was like, dude, like I'll never be in my 20s in Japan again. Everything about Japan is so beautiful, the culture, the people, everybody's so nice, the bathrooms are so clean, there's no trash randomly on the floor, people are really respectful, nobody's being loud, nobody's trying to see what you're doing, everybody minds their business. Everything is so cheap and affordable. The food is so good. And I kid you not, when I was looking through my pictures and videos, I was like starting to tear up because these memories, my daughter would never be this small again. I would never be that young again. And the reason I say I will never be in my 20s in Japan again is because I turned 29 when I was in Japan. So I plan to maybe hopefully go to Japan next year on my 30th birthday. But yeah, if you plan to go to Japan, just know when to come back. There's depression waiting for you.
お次に紹介するのも同じく帰国後に憂鬱になってしまった女性ですが、私たち日本人には当たり前のとあることが原因で脳がバグってしまった模様。
So one thing that you need to know about living in Japan and then coming back home is that your life becomes absolutely depressing due to the lack of colors, advertisements, and sounds everywhere that stimulated your brain for some time in Japan. And now they're suddenly gone, and your brain is just breaking out. So be prepared for it, guys.
お次は一言で言うともう手遅れになってしまった女性。先ほどの2人よりも強い口調で日本旅行に行く人に向けて警告します。
If there's anything I can tell you, it's don't go to Japan because you will just want to go back every itching, breathing, living moment of your life. All you'll ever think about is just going back to Japan. And that is exactly the case for me.
お次の女性も日本への旅行者に向けて強いメッセージを送ります。なんとタイトルは私が日本を嫌いになった3つの理由。しかし話をよく聞いているとなぜか日本への愛情しか出てきません。
So our trip to Japan was kind of horrible and I'm going to tell you exactly why. First, we came ready to blow money and we were not able to do that. Everything was so cheap and affordable. Michelin star ramen, $8. Street food, $2. Don't even get me started with the shopping and the thrifting. Second, everybody was so nice and respectful. It was so overwhelming how helpful everybody was. We couldn't even stand in the train station looking slightly confused without somebody trying to help. And third, the food was way too good. I had an existential crisis every night debating on what to eat. My family and I got in arguments over it every single time. It was so hard to choose between sushi, ramen, curry, everything. I didn't have one bad meal. So if you're into overpriced things, social anxiety, and disappointing food, I don't recommend Japan.
次に紹介する女性は今まで紹介した人たちよりもかなり重症。日本旅行後、自分が何者かわからなくなってしまった模様。
This is me post Japan and I'm currently devastated. I don't know what to do. I feel like I came back a different person because it seems like to be a very one in a lifetime type of experience, and these things I feel like changes you in many ways. And I came back and I don't know who I am anymore. And it sounds so dramatic and I don't know how to make it sound not dramatic, not like it's the end of the world. Oh, poor me, I went to Japan. But I came back and I feel like my life is painfully boring now. And my routine seems like it seems like this life is just too small for the expansion of my consciousness, if that's how I can describe it. And I don't know if someone has ever felt this. I am not sure what to do. I feel very, very sad. And maybe it's just going to pass. Maybe it's just a matter of days. Maybe I'm just tired. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels very, very low. And I'm scared.
心理学でピークエンドの法則ってやつがあるんですが、人の記憶って感情が一番高まった瞬間と終わり方で決まるらしいですが、おそらくさっきの女性の場合もそれかもしれません。日本旅行中がピークで帰国がエンド、結果はご覧の通りです。さて、ここまでは日本ロスに苦しむ人たちを紹介してきましたが、次に紹介するのはそんな日本ロスの原因と解決方法について語る男性です。
You think that part of Japan will fit you? It's because many years ago, a seed was implanted in your psyche, a seed that grew to make Japan this big dream. Like you want to travel to Japan, you want to live in Japan, you want to experience Japan in 2025. And this seed is much more than just going there to travel, to see some temples, to drink strong zeros, to go to konbini. You need to have the full experience, otherwise the post-Japan depression will never disappear. You can try to suppress that desire, but it will still be in the back of your head haunting you. And the real way to overcome it is by learning Japanese, finally moving to Japan, having the full package, being full of Japan and everything the country has to offer.
おそらく種というのは日本のアニメや漫画や映画やドラマ、もしくは SNS で流れてくる日本動画のことだと思いますが、次に紹介する男性は日本に来るまではそういったものに触れたことがなかったのに、旅行後日本という沼にはまっていった模様。
Don't go to Japan. I'm gonna tell you why. If you've never traveled before, or you've traveled and never been to Japan, do not go. I repeat, do not go. I've been to 20 states, including Hawaii. Been to France, England, Ireland, Northern Ireland. Landed in Singapore, been to Manila Airport. Been to Fiji, lived in Australia, lived in New Zealand. But can anybody explain why Japan's the only country I obsess about? I don't know if it's the egg and chicken sandwiches, the konbini stores, or just how affordable it is. I promise you, ever since I left that place, it's all I've studied on YouTube so far. So much so that I've bought Duolingo so I can learn the language. On top of that, I'm shadowing a whole bunch of anime that I don't even like, just so I can learn the language. Before going to Japan, there were other countries that I wanted to go to. South Africa, Jerusalem, Egypt. But ever since coming back from Japan, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go back to Japan. Would this be your reminder? Don't go. Don't go. You will develop an unhealthy obsession with Japan. Oh, I can't wait. I love Japan.
お次はロス状態というよりもフルパッケージで日本を味わった結果、帰国後アメリカの普通に違和感を覚えてしまった女性。
I have moved back from Japan to America, and as soon as I came back into America, I literally flew to Nashville 2 days into being back in America, and it was a very culture shocking moment. It was a culture shock after living in Japan for so long, and then boom, white people. So, and like, you know, you really have to be on edge if you're in America. And like I had to just get back in that like headspace of being like, put your head on the swivel, look for all your exits, you know, look for suspicious people. I went for a bachelorette trip to Nashville, so like men were coming up to us, but then also you can tell, you know, when like a white man is being fetishy. So, you know, they would approach like my friend group, and I'm just sitting there like it was a culture shock. It was very strange, and I didn't expect it to like really feel the way I felt like coming back from Japan, but it really is a different environment. So that was a little shocking, going from living in Japan for a year and then going straight to Nashville, Tennessee. Anyway, look at all my Nashville content. I had a great time in Nashville. I would go back. It was just a very shocking time for someone who wasn't in America for a year. So
分かりづらいところがあったのでちょっとだけ解説しましょう。ナッシュビルは遊びやすさや SNS 映えスポットなどもあって独身最後の旅行先として女性に人気の街です。独身最後にはっちゃけたい女性が集まる街ということは、そんな女性を狙ってる男性もいるわけで、あと動画で言われていた典型的なテネシーの白人男性っていうのはアメリカ南部出身の男性のステレオタイプとしてよく言われる、めっちゃグイグイ来るタイプのことでしょうね。何があったのかは不明ですが、日本で1年過ごした後だと他にもいろいろな逆カルチャーショックがあるでしょうね。ちなみに最初に紹介した動画の中で映画の話が出てきましたが、おそらくミッドナイトインパリのことだと思います。ヤニサワもおすすめの一本なので興味がある人は見てみてください。今回の話題について皆さんはどう思いましたか？ぜひコメント欄で意見を聞かせてください。このチャンネルでは海外で注目されている日本に関連する話題と反応を紹介しています。ほぼ毎日投稿しているのでチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。